Hello, Dan here. AFI have a new album out, so therefore life is good. My favourite band have just released their 10th studio album and it's probably one of their best yet. So without further ado, here are my thoughts on AFI's The Blood album. January 20th, 2017 marked the release of AFI's 10th studio album, their last since 2013's Burials. This also marks the longest time period for AFI not releasing an album, being roughly 3.5 years since Burials, so fans were chomping at the bit to get some new material, and they were definitely not disappointed. So the new album is actually a self-titled release, but it has the nickname of The Blood album, hence the very minimalist cover art, just having the 3 blood drops. AFI fans are not ones to shy away from controversy, and there was a bit of debate around the release of the album as to whether it was in fact self-titled or whether it was called The Blood album, but you know what, it turns out it's both, and AFI can do whatever they want because they're amazing. So yeah, in the lead up to Blood, we had a great, as always, marketing campaign. AFI are a band that like to create a lot of buzz when they release new material. So the band kicked off the campaign for the new album by releasing these postcards. They were sent out to members of the Despair faction, which is their official fan club. It's just a black postcard with the 3 blood drops that became the album art. And yeah, this was really cool. I love it when they do things for the hardcore fans. So this really got the buzz going for the new album. The band released a series of audio and video teasers that led up to the release of the first single, Snowcats, followed by another single, White Offerings. Those 2 singles were very different, one being very much a harder, heavier rock song, and one being a melodic, alternative rock song. So that was a really cool way to give fans a first taste of the new music. So that kind of briefly covers the build-up to the Blood album for you guys. So without further ado, I'm now going to dive straight into these new songs. The Blood album is arguably the most eclectic collection that AFI have put out. I very much enjoyed the progression from Crash Love through to Burials, being that Crash Love was a very stripped down album, not very electronic effects heavy as December Underground. With Burials, they brought back some of that programming electronic element and layered it into the music in a much more subtle way, which kind of really showed maturation in sound in that direction. And I think that the Blood album just builds upon that. You've still got that programming element there in some songs. Blood really manages to capture that sonic variance, and everything they do best is present at some point on this album, whether it be the kind of heavier rock, the more melodic ballad songs, the elements of electronic programming. And then building on that, there's songs on this record like The Wind That Carries Me Away, which I think are even further progression for them. That song in itself has a very almost country feel, which is something that we've never really heard from them before. And that has its place on the album, along with these songs that kind of demonstrate everything from the back catalogue, from December Underground through Crash Love through Burials, demonstrates what they can do really, really well. Standout songs for me, if I had to pick some, would be So Beneath You. Lyrically, really, really love this song. It carries on the tradition of kind of anti-theist songs that Davey likes to do. We didn't really get anything like that on Burials, as far as I remember. Crash Love, we had Sacrilege. And prior to that, Black Sails in the Sunset, you had the prayer position. So lyrically it kind of continues that anti-theist theme, so I really enjoyed that. And it has a really hooky, really heavy chorus to it, and I can't wait to see that live as well. Still a Stranger is possibly my favourite off the new record. Just immediately it grabbed me, and it has the guitar tones in it have a very almost Sing the Sorrow vibe, and every album that they put out, there's always one song that just makes me think, oh my god, AFI are back, and Still a Stranger was that song for me here. I really, really like Snowcats and White Offerings, which were the 2 promotional singles released prior to the album dropping. White Offerings is possibly the heaviest song they've done in a long time. It has almost a hardcore feel without being a hardcore song. Davy's vocals harken back to his kind of classic guttural Blast Sails in the Sunset type feel, and I think that's another one that'll be a killer one to hear live as well. Snowcats is quintessentially a classic AFI song. You've got Jade Hunter, Davey Adam all on point with what they're doing there. It was the track that really drew me in and made me excited even more for the new material. So yeah, that's another one that's up there for me. So here comes my biased opinion of the album. I would say there's not a single song that I don't like. I was trying to think of some things to make this a more balanced review that would be, I guess, negative towards the album. One thing I did find is there was a lack of Davy's classic O, which if you're not a hardcore fan, you might not be familiar with. So here's a little demonstration of exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, that classic O vocal, which we've all come to know and love from Davey, is noticeably absent from this album. I'm not going to say that brings the album down in any way, because it doesn't. It's still amazing, but that was one thing I did notice that I guess I would have loved to have in there that wasn't there. But yeah. Overall, I hate to be cliche and be the AFI fan that compares everything to Sing the Sorrow. I'm gonna say this is probably my favourite since Sing the Sorrow. I did say that about Burials when it came out, but I definitely prefer Blood a lot more to Burials. But again, it's only just come out, so it's very fresh. So I've been listening to it every day. I can't stop listening to it every day. So yeah, for now, I'm gonna go out and say favourite since Sing the Sorrow. So if you had a chance to listen to the Blood album, please do let me know in the comments below. Again, another solid effort from the guys in AFI, and possibly one of my favourite albums from them. So they were my brief kind of initial thoughts on the Blood album. I'll continue listening to this for weeks to come until I actually get to see some of these songs played live. Before I finish this video, I just want to give a few shout outs. I am one of the writers for AFI News Headquarters, which is the official AFI fan site and news channel. The AFI News HQ team has now moved from our old website to being a part of afarinside.net, which is the band's official website. We'll be providing the official news service for the band, which is crazy. It's a dream come true. So if you were an AFI fan and you didn't know about us, please check us out at afarinside.net. Just click on AFI HQ in the top right hand corner, and then you'll be able to keep up with all the latest news regarding the band and their tour. You can also follow AFI News HQ on social media, on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. I'll put these here for you. Another quick shout out, the Afara Inside Out podcast is a podcast done by Ben and Jeff over at Game Informer. I'll put a link in the description. They've been covering every single AFI release in incredible detail, much more detail than in this video. So if you're a fan, I'd say it's essential listening. So they've just put out an episode on the Blood album. So yeah, I'll put that in the description below, and you should guys check that out too. And one more thing before I end this video, AFI are currently on tour supporting the Blood album. I'll put a list of tour dates below. At the moment, they're touring North America. I and the AFI News HQ staff will all be present at the San Diego shows. I believe it is late February. So come and say hi if you're going there too. But they're going all over North America at the moment. And then later on in May, they're actually coming to the UK where I live. Supporting Deftones, which happen to be my other favourite band other than AFI. So I will also be at those shows too. So yeah, come and say hey. So that was my quick review of AFI's The Blood album. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, share it around to your friends. Remember to subscribe to stay up to date with more review videos coming up very soon. So thank you for watching this video guys, and I'll see you very soon.